Welcome back to Video Game News Daily, the only news update for video game enthusiasts who want to impress their friends with how much they know about the games industry. To get notified of new episodes, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com or simply subscribe to this podcast. It's Friday, November 28th, 2025. Let's get into it. Destiny 2's Edge of Fate didn't work. First up, Bungie has done something rare in live service land, admitted an expansion missed the mark. Destiny 2 director Tyson Green says the Edge of Fate didn't work because it focused too much on grind, power progression, and chasing a number, and not enough on meaningful rewards for the players who stuck around after the final shape wrapped up the 10-year saga. The good news is, Bungie says it's learned some hard lessons, and is using the new 2 expansions a year model to pivot quickly with December's Renegades, which leans into more Star Wars-style space western fantasy. Translation, less spreadsheet, more space drama, hopefully. Bloodlines 2 takes a $37 million hit. Over at Paradox, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has sunk its teeth into the balance sheet instead of players. The publisher has written down around $37 million in development costs after sales failed to meet expectations, and the CEO is bluntly saying the responsibility lies fully with us as the publisher. Years of delays, studio changes, and mixed reception have basically turned a cult classic revival into an expensive cautionary tale. If you ever needed that proof that chasing the nostalgia model just doesn't guarantee a slam dunk, this is it. Nintendo buys Bandai Namco's Singapore studio. Nintendo is quietly bulking up its global dev muscle. It's acquiring Bandai Namco Studios Singapore, renaming it to Nintendo Studios Singapore, and folding in a team that's already helped on titles like Splatoon and other first-party projects. According to Nintendo's corporate note, the studio will focus on in-game art, world building, and asset creation to support long-term development. In other words, the more internal capacity to make big, good-looking worlds for whatever comes next after Switch 2, and fewer leaks about mysterious Nintendo projects showing up in Bandai Namco job ads. Last Epoch angers players with paid DLC class. In ARPG land, Last Epoch is currently learning the maybe don't monetize like that lesson in real time. The devs announced a new character class as paid DLC, and the community promptly slammed the Steam reviews with plenty of comments telling people to just play Path of Exile or Grim Dawn instead. The core complaint is simple. Players paid for a premium ARPG, not a game that slices off core fantasy into extra purchases. Arc Raiders incinerates cheaters. Speaking of consequences, co-op shooter Arc Raiders has rolled out a patch that fixes a notorious door glitch by turning the rooms behind these doors into ovens. Players who glitch their way now find themselves cooked alive, which is honestly a more creative anti-cheat than another shadow ban spreadsheet. The update also adds a new Stella Montis modifier and other tweaks, but let's be honest, everyone's here for the cheater barbecue. It's game design as petty revenge, and I fully support it. Metroid Prime 4 Amiibo Gate 100% reward. Nintendo has revealed what the Metroid Prime 4 Amiibo do, and one of them unlocks a reward you'd otherwise need 100% completion to get. The Samus, Viola, and Sylux figures have different in-game functions, but it's that skip the full clear unlock that's getting side-eye. On one hand, it's a classic Nintendo move, encourage collectibles with a neat perk. On the other, I can already hear completionists grinding their teeth at the idea of a plastic shortcut. No Witcher 4 at the Game Awards. If you were hoping to see The Witcher 4 at the Game Awards, temper those expectations. CD Projekt's co-CEO has confirmed they're not bringing any new content to the show this year, which means no teaser, no logo, nothing for the next Witcher saga. After Cyberpunk's extremely early reveal and very long runway, this feels like a deliberate overcorrection. Personally, I'd rather they show it when they're ready than spend 3 years re-explaining a CG trailer. GoldenEye devs return with roguelike word game Beyond Words. Steve Ellis and David Doak, the folks behind GoldenEye 007 and Timesplitters, are back with a new studio and a new game called Beyond Words, a roguelike word game with a demo already up on Steam. It mixes word puzzles with run-based progression, which is a pretty hefty pivot from 4-player split-screen carnage to vocabulary violence. If nothing else, it proves that once a designer gets a taste for chaos, it doesn't matter whether it's bullets or consonants. That's all for today. Subscribe to the Video Game News Daily podcast. Sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com for all the news sources and to get notified when a new episode drops. And send this podcast on to a friend if you know they need the news. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.